everybody, welcome back to the rehab room at Live Oak Chiropractic. We have Amanda again with us today. Today we're going to be going over some intermediate and advanced core on ball. So we showed you the beginner core exercises. Now once you've done those for a while, we start to move on to some a little more advanced, which will again strengthen your core even more. And so what we're going to have Amanda do first is called bridge on ball. So she's actually going to get on the ground and I'm going to be instructing her on how to do those. So we're going to have Amanda go ahead and put her feet up on the ball. Her arm will lay flat on her back. Now I'm going to have her hands to her side, bracing herself. So go ahead and put those arms out for me, Amanda. And then she's going to lift up her pelvis. So this is pretty similar to the bridge on the ball when we rolled forward. What you can see is she's straight from toes all the way to the head. And I want you to squeeze that core, Amanda, and squeeze the butt. We really want to retrain the brain for the core to squeeze naturally. And this is how we're going to do it, is doing these kind of exercises. Now, there are 3 different positions you can be in doing this. So I'm going to have you just go and relax for a second, Amanda. That way you can have a little bit more energy. And so there's going to be hands out to the side, elbows in, and then on the chest. This is the easiest. This is more intermediate. This is more advanced. So I want you to go ahead and lift yourself up, Amanda. And you're going to just show them what you just did. So this is easier to brace yourself because you do have the ball that you got to balance on. Go ahead and put just your elbows up. This is a little bit more difficult. And this on the chest is a bit more advanced. It's going to be harder to be able to balance yourself. And so when you're doing these, we do start with this, but if you can get up to this point to where you're balancing with just your hands on your chest, that is a lot better for the coordination of the muscles. So then go ahead and relax, Amanda. So that one isn't too difficult, doesn't hurt too much. You are going to try to squeeze that core, you're going to feel some pressure in the back, your hamstrings might be a little tired, but that's okay. We're working out those muscles, it's really good for you. So now I'm going to have you do is we're going to do something called quadruped. We call it quadruped because we're going to have her on all 4 floors, so I'm going to have you go ahead and lay your stomach on the ball, Amanda. And it's a lot easier to see from the side what we're doing here. And so make sure you have enough room because you're going to be lifting all over the place. And so the position that we want you when we're doing quadruped is we want you to be pretty balanced. She's got enough of her feet on the ground. She's got enough of her hands on the ground. And we're going to make sure that when she's doing this, and hopefully you can see this, JC, is that we're going to have her actually tuck her chin in a little bit to put her spine in a good position. So you can see a difference when her head's all the way down or she's too far up. But when her head is straight and she tucks the chin in, that actually puts the cervical spine in a good position. So we're not just working the core, we're working the neck muscles as well. And so while holding that, I want you to squeeze the butt and squeeze your core as tight as you can. And then I want you to lift your left arm and your right leg up. Then I want you to do the opposite, left leg and right arm. And she's going to keep on doing this. Again, if you're feeling any sharp shooting pain while doing this, go ahead and stop or just do less reps. If you're feeling some discomfort, if you're feeling some pressure, that's okay. This is some new exercises that you're adding onto your regimen, so it's okay to feel some of those things. So you can see she's just going smooth with those motions. It's going to be a little tough to balance probably, but you'll get the hang of it. She's doing really good with this. She is a great example of the correct form that you want. She's keeping her head up. Okay, go ahead and relax. Now we're going to have her do something called Superman swim. So we're going to go over on this wall, and I'm going to have JC come over here. Just move a couple things out of the way. Again, you want to make sure you just have enough space in order to do these exercises. And so now you're going to put your feet up against the wall to brace yourself, because this can be pretty difficult to do without having your feet up against the wall. So with your feet up against the wall, I want you to put the ball under your pelvis. And then I want you to roll forward. You got to make sure the feet are against the wall. And I want you to put that ball a little more under your pelvis. You can see that it's her kind of mid-stomach right now. We want it to balance between the pelvis and the stomach. Right there is just fine. So while she's doing that, she's going to go ahead and lift up and arch her back like this. You can see from head to toe, she's pretty straight, pretty aligned. While doing that, I'm going to have her lift her hands up and hold them there. And just like we talked about last exercise, we're going to have her tuck her chin in and make sure that it's straight and in line. Okay, now while doing this, we call them Superman swims because she's going to be swimming. So Amanda, go ahead and 1 arm at a time. I want you to swim, full rotation, and then the left arm, full rotation. So you can see that she's keeping her hands up. It's normal for people to start to lower their hands. So whenever you catch yourself doing that, try to raise them back up. It's going to be a little tough on the shoulders, but we're getting some motion in there. Her neck is in a good position, tucking that chin in. She's squeezing that core and squeezing the butt to activate those muscles. And this is a really good example of what this exercise should look like. Okay, go ahead and relax. So we recommend that doing these exercises that maybe 10 on each arm, you're going to get pretty tired. Take a break. It's okay. You don't have to full-blown go swimming as fast as you can. next exercise, that's one of the more advanced ones, is planks on ball. So I'm going to show you what that's going to look like on the ball. I'm going to show you kind of another version for people that may not be able to do it. And so on the ball, what we're going to do is we're going to just get down on the ground, and people have done planks before, but we're going to do this on the ball. So we're going to put our elbows on the ball, and what we're going to do is go ahead and put our feet flat on the ground while squeezing that core and squeezing the butt. I'm tightening everything up. I'm really retraining those muscles to work correctly. While doing that, I'm just going to hold it here. I'm not going to be up against the ball. I'm going to keep that shin tucked in, holding this position. I'm feeling a little bit of pressure in the low back. That's completely normal. I'm feeling it in the core. That's really good. You're working out those muscles. You can kind of see Amanda. She's doing this. This is a less advanced version. It still works great. She's squeezing the core. She's squeezing the butt. She's making sure she's tight. She's keeping her chin tucked in. You can go ahead and relax, Amanda. Another option is if you want to brace yourself up against a different object. Like this table here, I can go up against it, and I can just hold it like this. And it becomes a lot easier because we don't have a ball that we're trying to balance on. So if you have to start on the ground, you have to start an object, just make sure you're squeezing that core, squeezing the butt, you're not tipping too low, you're not going too far up, you're just keeping everything tight. So those are the intermediate advanced exercises. Thank you, Amanda, for doing those with me. We encourage you to do those after you've done that beginning core and ball and you're doing really good with stabilizing those muscles and working that pelvis out.